There's nothing that has radicalized me more than the question of Palestine. Nothing. Nothing ever in the world has made me more angry and more aware and woke me up more than this. It has liberated me from the system fully and completely. The level of injustice, the level of suffering, the level of silence of certain people and institutions is so loud, it's unbearable. And this has been going on for thousands of years. This is not new of today. But we live a life of such convenience and we're so busy with our to-do list that we do not have time to question anything. There's a huge shift going on right now, whether you are aware of it or not, whether you choose to actively participate in it or not. It is happening. It is here. So what are you choosing? This is going in the history books. There is a huge amount of chaos going on in the world right now. If you're watching this video, you might be aware of everything that's going on and that has been going on for the past 5,000 years, or you might just be catching up right now to all of the things that have been going on behind our backs or below our consciousness. This is a time where when you see things, you can't unsee them. When you see certain things, the whole perception of how you see the world changes. And if you are open enough, if you have your heart open, this can be shattering. This can be unbearable. As someone who grew up in Europe, I was not aware of many of the situations and the context that most people in the south of the globe live every day and are aware of every single day and grew up with. Some of us in the West, we have this worldview that is so different from what's actually reality, what's actually going on. There's so much propaganda, there's so much brainwashing, there's so much privilege also involved, because if you are not involved personally, then there is this feeling of, but what can I do? And I am making this video because I feel like us in the West, we need to learn a lot, we need to humble ourselves a lot, we need to educate ourselves, and we also need to take action. We cannot be passively living life while other people are not having human rights that we benefit of because of the privilege that we have. And I'm making this video as my own personal opinion. I don't know everything. I don't have a history degree. I am not here to educate you because you can educate yourself. What this video is about is how to cope and to deal with this chaotic period of time as an individual who is learning and who is opening up and who is waking up to all of the things that have been hidden for so long and that are coming up to the surface. For all these people who are losing friends and family members because of their political opinions, who are speaking up and who feel all these feelings of anger and frustration and all these heavy feelings that are in the collective right now. This is the people I am speaking to in this video. And if you are watching this and you want to learn more about what's going on, I will leave so many links down below in the description box of information you can check so that you can become aware and you can educate yourself. This is an ongoing thing. As I said, I don't know everything. I had no idea of what was going on a couple years ago. I had no idea. And as I said, once I saw some things, I could not unsee them. I had to dive deep into history, into geopolitics, into how the finances work. And let me tell you, it's not pretty. It is not pretty, but for the system to change, we first of all have to become aware of how we are participating in it and how we are allowing it to live and to function with us, with our participation. And later on in this video, I'm going to get into the ways you can help, actively help, and how you can contribute to the change, whether you are personally affected by what's going on or you're not. There's different degrees of what you can feel. Personally, I am a sensitive person. I am connected to the collective. My heart is open, and so I feel what's going on. I don't necessarily have to look at the images and watch the videos to feel the immense suffering and the injustice that is being perpetrated to some people. There's this idea of shocking news, of the system wanting us to be constantly connected and constantly watching out for the next thing that's coming out. And personally, I find it hard sometimes to disconnect from social media because it's the place where I can see what's going on. And there's this certain addiction to the news, to what is next, to following up with your family, with your friends, with the people who are suffering. And that's the way of the system to keep us in fear and to keep us in a state of survival. It is so difficult to disconnect from this news when you feel the immense amount of suffering and you feel guilty because you perhaps are living a good life and other people are not. And so we keep ourselves constantly connected to the news, to what's going on. It is important to disconnect. It is important to be in the present moment where you are and to let go of social media for a moment. If you can do an hour a day, if you can do a weekend, if you can do a week off, events are going to unfold. And for us to be in a position to be able to help, to be able to be of service, we need to be clear. We need to be stable. I am not saying to ignore or bypass anything, of course not. But there is a certain balance to be found between being informed and receiving information and being the creator of your experience. We are bombarded clearly with information all the time, and it's our responsibility as individual people to say stop and to disconnect from social media, to be in the present moment and to deal with the feelings, because there is a way of escapism. There is a way of escaping the feelings when we're constantly on social media, because those feelings are so heavy and we don't know how to cope with them. And let me tell you, this is not a time where we should learn how to cope with this, because we are feeling it. We're in the middle of it. Everybody is being traumatized by the events going on. So when you're being traumatized daily, whether you are in the middle of the chaos or you're just watching, you get traumatized. And those feelings, they are here and they get stuck and they're real. And it's a real thing. Let's do our best to disconnect and to sit with the feelings, because those feelings need to go somewhere. They need to be expressed. This anger, this frustration has to be expressed. Otherwise, it's going to stay inside of your body. You're going to suppress it and it's going to create disease. Why do you think people go out to the street and protest? Because it's a way to honor the experience of what we are feeling. We are angry and we are expressing it, and we honor our experience of being angry, and we honor the fact that we're not in agreement. We do not agree with the injustice. We do not agree with the current state of the system. These feelings have to go somewhere. And there is also an aspect that is very important in this day and age and in this situation is community. Find community. Find people who agree with you. Find people you can share your grief with. Find people who are aware, because what happened for me and for a lot of people is that you start losing friends, you lose family members, people stop talking to you when you get political. But there is a breach in consciousness where I cannot be myself with people who do not speak up, with people who are not aware yet. There is this element of understanding that is not there, and people can keep pretending nothing is happening. People can keep going on with their lives and ignoring these things. But as someone who chooses to show up and educate myself, and of course I am not perfect, of course I don't know everything, but I try and I am here and I take action. I have and I need and we need to be with each other. We need to build community around the same purpose, around the same ideas. If you feel lonely, if you feel like nobody in your family understands you, if you feel like you are not being understood or that the people around you do not get it, go and find community. If it's only online for now, then find community online and try to disconnect as well and do other things that do not involve being on your phone or your computer. Find community physically as well. Go to your neighborhood, go out in the streets, show up to events, show up where people like you are showing up as well. And that's how you build community, and that's how you will feel better, because we're all part of this and we all need to find each other. So it's not in the comfort of your home and your bed that you're going to feel better. I feel like now it's a moment of being brave and showing up and going there physically and showing up. There's an aspect of this where people in the collective are suffering. So if you can't sleep, if you can't eat, if you feel bad, it's okay and it's normal. It would not be normal for you to feel so good and amazing now that this is happening. Of course you can feel good. Of course there is space for the joy, and there is space for the good things, for the love, for the bliss, for the opportunities, for comfort. There is space for all the emotions. However, when you don't feel okay and you feel guilty because you are not being productive, or you are not resting, or you are not being at your 100%, understand that it's normal. It is completely normal. Nobody is feeling at their 100% now, because there's so much going on. There's so much poison in everything we consume that it's clearly impossible to be constantly aligned unless you are a monk and live on top of a mountain. If you live in the real world with social media, if you're going to work, if you eat the foods that are in the supermarkets, there is a level of toxicity that we are exposed to. What I'm trying to say is that it's okay not to be okay, and it's okay to sit with it, and it's okay to function with those emotions and keep going, accepting the emotion, not rejecting it, not putting it to the side, but just acknowledging it. Okay, the grief is here. Okay, so many things I don't agree with are happening. And how can I live a life according to my principles, according to my values, according to who I am supposed to be? This is why community is so important. Get yourself a therapist as well. I go to therapy because there is a level of heaviness that you can't deal with it on your own. That's why we need each other so much. If you have family members you can talk to, if you have friends you can talk to, even if you do like a Zoom reunion with all your friends who know about this and who are aware and who are suffering as well, it is important. It is important to show up and be there for each other. I was saying this to a friend the other day, that there are so many causes we can talk about. There is an infinite list of things that are wrong with the system and an infinite amount of people who need our help. So whatever cause has the most impact on you, then do something about it. Whatever it is, probably your cause is different than mine. Every cause has the same roots. It's liberation. Liberation for all people, from all countries, from all backgrounds, from all genders. Liberation for the people. Whether you're pro whatever or pro whatever, the fact is we're all in this together for the same reasons. And there's nothing worse you can do than remaining silent. Because when you remain silent, you are a accomplice of what's going on. You are saying yes, you are saying I agree, you are agreeing with it, you're participating in it, you are a piece of it. There's nothing that has radicalized me more than the question of Palestine. Nothing ever in the world has made me more angry and more aware and woke me up more than this. It has liberated me from the system fully and completely. I've had other breakthroughs through my life, but this one to me has been the level of injustice, the level of suffering, the level of silence of certain people and institutions is so loud. It's unbearable. It's unbearable. And let me tell you, this system is crumbling. This is changing. The new beginning is near. We are entering a new way of doing things. So are you going to participate and be present with what's going on in history? Because this is for the history books. This is going in the history books. Or are you just going to be a piece and a part of it and crumble with the system? Because your life and how you perceive life is going to change sooner or later. And when that happens, there is a huge breakthrough that comes with it and a huge breakdown as well. I'm talking about emotions. I'm talking about everything you know and you knew to be true and you relied on doesn't exist anymore. So imagine that for a moment and how it feels. There's a huge shift going on right now, whether you are aware of it or not, whether you choose to actively participate in it or not, whether you choose to go with it and build community and show up as a human being, or you choose to ignore it. It is happening. It is here. So what are you choosing? What are you going to do about it? There is this narrative that as individuals, we're not important, that as single people, we can't do anything. But that's so far from the truth. That is so far from the truth. How do you think that democracy was created? How do you think that all the movements for human rights were created? It's just people, civilians, waking up and speaking up against the oppressor. And this has been going on for thousands of years. This is not new of today. This has been going on for thousands of years, but we live a life of such convenience and we're so busy with our to-do list that we do not have time to question anything. Why would we question something that we feel comfortable with? But underneath the comfort, underneath the convenience, what's the foundation of that is complete suffering. And we need to become aware of it. And we need to find other ways to live life according to principles that are unconditional love, freedom for everyone, liberation. And this is not in my imagination or something impossible. We always think something is impossible until it is done. Until it is done. So if you're part of the movement, thank you. If you even get what I'm saying and what I'm talking about, and you can read between the lines, thank you. Thank you for being here. Let's show up in the comments. Let everyone know where you're from and let's make a community of people who show up. And now in the last part of this video, I'm going to share with you some of the things that you can do, because I get asked very often, yeah, I can see what's going on. I can see the suffering, but what can I do as an individual at my level? I have no power. And this is what you can do. And there is a lot. Number one, stop buying from companies who have business with you know who, with these people who are committing atrocities. Stop buying from those companies. There are lists online of companies you can stop buying from. You will see it's all the big corporations. Instead, you can buy from small local businesses in your area. This is a shift you can make with your money. You choose where your money goes. So you can choose not to buy from these big corporations, and you can choose to buy from these small businesses that will benefit from your money so much. Restaurants, markets, shops, whatever you can do to avoid big corporations and shop local, that will help shift the economy. Share information on your social media. Use all your social media platforms to share information. For sure, you can dedicate some posts or some time of your life to the cause to bring awareness to your friends and family. Bring the awareness through your social media platforms. Do not underestimate the reach you can have. Even if you have one follower on the internet, do not underestimate the reach you have as an individual sharing content that matters, to disrupt people, to create like a break in their day. Go out to the streets, join the people, show up in your neighborhood. We are stronger together. We are stronger together. Donate your money to help people evacuate, get food, or get medicine. I'll put some links down below. you can donate. Of course, educate yourself, read the books. I'm going to share down below some YouTube videos you can watch and some links you can get information from of what is going on. Educate yourself. It's not that difficult. Use your vote for people who really, truly, honestly support the cause you support as well. Use your vote. Stop consuming content from actors, artists, singers who are not speaking up and who remain neutral. Stop consuming content from them. Start consuming content from small artists who have a voice. Start learning about other cultures. I started learning Arabic. For sure, you can do something too. And last but not least, disconnect. Give yourself time to process all of these emotions. We want you to be healthy. We want you to be clear in your mind, and we want you to be focused. It's necessary for all of us to take breaks. For all of us to take breaks. We are not made to be constantly connected and constantly plugged into the internet. We're not made to do that. We're made to be in nature. We're made to enjoy the sunlight. We're made to go for walks in nature. We're made to work with our hands and to share with each other and to laugh and to cry. I hope this video helped in any way. I hope we can build community in the comments. All the links for everything I just said are going to be in the description box. Please check them out. Let me know if you need any other resources, any other links. Remember that we are a collective. We are all in this together. Your soul family is out there. I love you. Please be safe. And I'll see you in the next video.